Yeah, we're alive. How exciting, right? It's an exciting time in America. Um, Earlier today, DHS announced that the temporary um, invitation extended to the Haitians, it's over. They got till August to go home. 500,000 people that are refugees in the U.S. that were granted temporary entry. And guess what? I know Haitians. I know a few of them. I live in North Miami. 90% Haitians. You've heard me talk about these guys. They're the worst drivers on the earth because they got nowhere to go, right? Well, 500,000 of them are now been told to go home. Apparently, the situation in Haiti has improved to such a level that now it's safe to go back. I wonder who the nut job is that that made that determination. That Haiti is now safe. It's a safe place. You know what I like to see? I like to see these knuckleheads who made this decision. I like to see them go to Haiti on their own with their families, not with armed guards, not with bodyguards. Don't even give them a weapon. Just fly them and their families to Haiti and cut them loose. See how long they last. So yeah, on top of the mass deportations taking place in America, Mexicans, Colombians, Dominicans, it's unbelievable. They're being rounded up, they're being caged up, and they're being shipped out. Families are broken apart. People are handcuffed, treated like criminals, and they are the backbone of this nation. Who do you think built your house, your apartment, your business? Who do you think built that building? Who do you think is paving those roads? Who do you think is painting? Who do you think is landscaping? Who do you think is working in those restaurants? Everywhere you look in America, everywhere you look, you'll see perhaps undocumented, whatever you like to call them. I used to be one of them. I used to be undocumented, believe it or not, when I came here to the U.S. I was undocumented for a while. I worked illegally from 1992 until 1993. Yeah, for a whole year, I did work illegally. I had a J-1 visa that was issued to me by Walt Disney Company, and I worked at Epcot Center. I'm Canadian. You might not know that. And so I worked at Epcot illegally for 1 year, but when my visa expired, I didn't leave. I just went and got another job. I had a social security card. I had a driver's license. I got a job. I worked. And it wasn't until I pissed off an American, Carrie Scheffler is her name. She called immigration on me, and I got accosted at my workplace. I worked at Capone's in Kissimmee. It was in Kissimmee, yeah, on 192. And guess what? DHS, or whatever it was called, came to my workplace, arrested me, cuffed me, interrogated me, and then granted me voluntary departure. I was deported. And so I left. The threat of arrest. And then I returned in 2003. I don't know if I worked illegally or not, I don't remember. But no, I didn't. I got married. And then I got a temporary working permit. I forget what that's called, an I-86, whatever it is. And eventually my green card. So now I'm entirely legal. I'm a permanent resident of the U.S., but I could be deported anytime. Anytime. They could cuff me, throw me out, for any reason, really. It's the U.S. government, right? If they were breaking the law, they'll amend the law. They'll do whatever the hell. Whatever the hell they want. And that's America for you, land of the free. Well, not really. land of the obedient. But yeah, how do you feel about these ICE raids going on left, right, and center? What? Who's that? I will call you later, Father. I wish. Not gonna happen. So, yeah, this is my 2 cents about these mass deportations, about treating 500,000 Haitians and kicking them out of the country just because some bureaucrats deemed Haiti safe now. So these people are supposed to just like pick up and leave, take their stuff, put it in the suitcase, and just leave after they've gotten a taste of the American way or freedom, whatever you want to call it. I gotta tell you, I'm against it wholeheartedly. There's something better that we can do than just cage people up and lock people up and ship people out. These are hard-working Americans, documented or not. That's how I feel. The backbone of our nation, the people who make a difference here. What, are you gonna go and cut the grass? Right? Here in Florida, you wanna go try that? I recommend you don't, because I gave it a shot. I almost died of a heart attack. But yeah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go paint? You're gonna do flooring, right? You're gonna do roofing here in Florida. You want a roofing job? Gringo? Yeah, these jobs, these people working in a restaurant, in a hot kitchen, being exploited, being verbally abused. I've seen it. Have you? I've worked with Mexicans. I've worked with Colombians. I've worked with people from Dominican Republic. I've worked with people from a lot of countries in South America. And the conditions that they work under, the abuse, the constant abuse. They're being treated like animals, and now they're being deported en masse. ICE shows up at job sites, and rounds them up. That means they're working somewhere, right? Are they really taking jobs from American citizens or the documented like yours truly? No. You're not gonna see me on a roof. I'll die. I'll die if I get up on the roof right now, this weather in Florida, 90 degrees, 100% humidity. I will die within a half hour if you put me on a roof. I'm not a coward. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I don't have it in me to do the work that these people do. I don't. I'm not physically able to do it. It's not that complicated. So yeah, I'm against it. I am wholeheartedly against this ICE movement, these raids. It's mind-blowing to me that our government's allowing this to happen. Not only allowing it, but running campaigns on it. It's unthinkable. Yeah. You guys know anybody who got deported? I don't know what happened to my neighbor Henry. I haven't seen him I haven't seen Henry in I don't know. His truck is gone. I don't know if Henry's documented or not, but here's what I know. He's a nice guy. He and his family are nice people. A little rowdy. They do like to party, I'll give you that. But Henry's a nice guy. I don't even know what to say about that. I haven't seen Henry in, I don't know. I think Henry's from Mexico. Short guy, fun guy. And his dog Luna. Luna is funny. Luna's funny because we're separated, Luna and I, by a fence, chain link fence. And when she's in the yard and she sees me, she charges me like she's gonna eat me. Scares the crap out of me. But when she's in the front yard and there's no fence, she comes right up to me, wags her tail. Best friend. But in the backyard, it's like a whole different ball game. Same guy, just the fence makes it like, oh, they're across the fence. I gotta bark at you, and she does. She looks a little bit like my dog Solstice, about the same size. Looks like a pit bull mix of some sort. So, oh, I got a different point of view over there. I'm going to take you guys over there. It's going to be a. I want to show you guys something. Stay with me. Oh, here we go. We got to go this way. This way. There you go. Like Ferrari in the background, like that. Who doesn't like a nice Ferrari right in the background, right? Is that my Ferrari? No, it's not. Obviously, it's behind them. But yeah, I know somebody who owns a Ferrari. Coincidentally, his name is also Henry, but he is a douchebag. The Henry that I was just mentioning is Mexican, nice guy, really, really, really nice. The other Henry who owns a Ferrari, the biggest douchebag I've ever met in my entire life, and he's a Jew. He's a Jew bastard. And then Moshe Shabbat, the other guy, the other douchebag, another Jew bastard, abusive assholes who take advantage of South Americans, take advantage of people on a daily basis. They exploit, they terrorize these Jew mother. I don't even have any words to say about these guys. Don't get me started on Jews, please. Don't get me started on Jews. So, yeah, mass deportation in the U.S., prompted by the Trump administration and carried out by ICE, and just reshaping America in a place that, quite frankly, I don't want to be. I don't want to be in a country that that crushes the backbone of the nation. It's ridiculous. Nice wagon. I've got a wagon with a chair. I could use one of them. I'm trying something new tonight, by the way, or tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm dealing with the weather here in Florida. But I'm trying something different. Got that yellow Ferrari behind me, which is ironic because what I'm doing has to do with lemons. I'm doing a lemon challenge thingy. I know you guys are not interested, but it's okay. It's okay. I might show you a little bit later. I might go live tonight. So if you haven't subscribed already, please, by all means, subscribe. You're going to want to see this one. I think very highly of myself. I think I'm a pretty smart guy. But sometimes I have some really stupid ideas. This is one of them. You want to tune in for this one. What time am I going live? Probably around 7, 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm hoping Banana's going to be with me. Banana like a yellow banana, yellow Ferrari, yellow lemon, yellow table. Everything's yellow. I'm looking around. I'll show you. Everything around me right now is yellow. Let's see. A yellow bucket, yellow sign, yellow tables, yellow stairs. The guy's got a fire suit over there. It's yellow. I don't know. Never really realized how much yellow there is out in the world. But listen, how do you guys feel about these mass deportations? You guys, are you Joe Dirt? No, I don't have a mullet. I don't have a mullet. No, I'm not Joe Dirt. I can't read comments because I don't have my reading glasses and my eyes are bad. So, grab the camera from Lamar Jackson. I don't know who that is. Joe Dirt. Take a look at these comments. Okay, there's a lot of them. I don't have the ability to manage comments right now, guys. So you're gonna have to cut me some slack. But yeah, back to mass deportations. My neighbors are South Americans. I live in a neighborhood in North Miami, Miami Gardens, Golden Glades, Golden Beach, that area, where there are a lot of Haitians. I would have to say 80+% Haitians, and then a lot of South Americans, and then there's me. I am probably the only white person in my zip code, and I'm not lying. I had to go print something at the library yesterday because I don't have a printer at home and I'm too cheap to go to FedEx. So I go to the library and I print there because you get 25 free prints. I don't think it's per day, but every time I go, I've got a count. It tells me how many prints I have left, and I'm still like, I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I print stuff, and every time I go to this library, it's just I'm the only white person there. You know, I live in an area that is primarily black and Hispanic, and I feel a little bit. You know what? I used to feel out of place. I used to feel out of place down here, but now I don't know. I fit in. I feel like I'm okay here. To give you one example, I lock my car doors, but I have not locked my front door in a year. I don't lock my place. Perhaps it's because I have nothing for people to steal. I lost everything. Yeah. Fun fact, I had my entire life in a storage unit in Fort Lauderdale, and about 4 or 5 months ago, I forget when, I lost everything. I was going through a logistical and financial nightmare, and one thing led to another, and eventually I missed one payment, and I contested this payment issue, and I was basically told that not only did my appeal or whatever was denied, but they were charging me an extra $80 fee per month because I was not direct deposit, whatever it is. And then I flipped my lid and I thought, I'm not going to pay you guys. Forget about this. And I tried to look at a legal avenue that I could take. And before I could orchestrate a plan, they sold my stuff at auction. So my bed, my couch, my furniture, a bunch of drones, my camera equipment, my welder, my 3D printer, a rocketry kit that I put together for my kids that we never used, tools, a lot of tools, TVs, 2 TVs, a couple of computers, a laptop, a bunch of personal stuff from when I was a kid. I lost all of it. All of it's gone. And yeah. So I don't lock my front door because I got nothing to lose anymore. I really have nothing to lose anymore. And what I have that's worth anything, I take it with me every time I leave. And I started doing that very early when I lived there because I didn't trust the neighbors or the neighborhood, only to find out that it's probably one of the safest places I ever lived. No joke. I'm looking at Montreal these days. I saw a video from Rome this morning and how Rome is being taken over by Muslims, and Montreal is being taken over. Canada is being taken over by Muslims, and even my friend Rick in Montreal, who is a Jew. Rick is nice, but he's still a Jew, and he's under attack in Montreal. Jews are fleeing for very good reasons, because the Muslims are taking over the world. All over the UK, if you haven't seen, Italy, Europe. They're not really welcomed in Poland, though. I don't know why I'm bringing that up. Yeah, if you're trying to migrate to Poland and you're a Muslim, good luck. Good luck. They don't want you there. It's a big no-no in Poland to be a Muslim. You're not welcome. But here in America, the movement started a long time ago, and various levels of government have been infiltrated by Muslims, and at some point they're going to pull the trigger. As you know, Obama was a Muslim. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Obama's a douchebag. But yeah, so mass deportation in the U.S. Mexicans, Colombians, Dominicans, um, people from Ecuador. Podría traerme una grabada por la noche, la corona caraja, la ventana y puertas y impacto. See? So yeah, people from South America are being rounded up. They're being caged up. They're being tied up. They're being shipped out. And it's, again, these are the backbone of America. These are the hardest working Americans that I know. The hardest working people I have ever met in my life are South Americans. Venezuelans. Brazilians. I don't know about Brazilians. Not crazy about Brazilians. The last Brazilian person that I interacted with was a liar and a thief. A liar and a thief. She was a nutcase. This woman, I'm not going to tell you who she is, except her first name is Elaine, and she is the owner of Pizza Goods. A psychotic woman from Brazil. I was working with her, and she was so cheap and so hard up for money and so crazy, absolutely insane, that she would have me cut pieces of paper in half and print on only half the paper. And these were orders for mixers and pizza dough mixers and pizza making equipment. She had me cut pieces of paper in half and print on only a half a piece of paper to save on ink and paper. Not realizing that the amount of time that it took me to manually cut, she didn't have a paper cutter, too cheap to buy one of those. We had to literally just, fold them in half and score them and then rip them apart or put them on the corner of a table or a desk and then only put a half a piece of paper in the printer. And the funny part was the printer kept getting clogged up or it wouldn't print right because the paper, you can't just put a half a piece of paper in a printer. So the amount of time that it would take me to cut the piece of paper in half and then to figure out how to print on a half a piece of paper, she had to pay me for that time, and it ended up costing her more in labor than she saved on paper and ink. Make no sense whatsoever. She's from Brazil, a complete nut job. Other than that, most people that I've worked with from South America are hardworking. They're high-spirited. They're go-getters. They are hard workers. They need a little motivation. I managed a couple of call centers up until March of this year, where I trained a bunch of people from South America. Some of them didn't speak English. I was interested because I don't speak Spanish. Yeah, I pretend. Y pretendo. Y pretendo. Soy Dan. Soy Dan. You know what that means? Soy Dan. That means I'm Dan. I learned that. Soy, S-O-Y means I am. And that's why when there's a joke about soy sauce introducing itself as sauce. It's a Spanish thing. And by the way, ole is not welcome in South America. Apparently, it's a Spain thing or Portugal. I was doing the ole thing a lot, and boy, they hated on me. They didn't think it was funny. I was like, ole, no, don't do ole. I even put together some ads that were in Spanish for Christmas, notably, for ventanas and puertas de impacto, and it was pretty nice. It's on my cyber.jenica Instagram. You should check it out. I've got 1 or 2 ads in Spanish on there that I produce for those douchebag companies that I work for. The companies were all right, but they were owned by douchebags. That guy Henry Gage and Moshe Shabbat, those 2 douchebags, those bastards. I can't believe how much money I made these guys. And at the end of the day, they just exploited and abused me like they did the South Americans. They didn't care who I was, where I was from. They're Jews, They're Jews. What do you expect from a bunch of Jews? So yeah, this mass deportation that's taken place in America and how many of visas are being revoked from individuals who are exercising their First Amendment right of free speech. Free speech is not free. And in America, these days, you better watch what you say. Because if the government does not like what you say, they will kick you out. They will round you up. They will handcuff you in front of your family, and they will take you to jail, where you will not be able to have any conversations with anyone other than perhaps an attorney that you have to make an appointment with and wait 2-3 weeks to talk to. You will sit in jail where you will be killed or tortured for working illegally, for working. These people are working. They're being rounded up in their workplace. It's not only devastating and not only sending a message to the rest of the world that America is no longer a haven, but pure hell. This country has become a cesspool of filth and if not for Banana and my best friend, whom I haven't seen in God knows how long, I would pack my stuff, whatever I have left, and leave. I was hoping to end my days in Spain, Europe, but now it's been taken over by Muslims, and hate roams. Hate literally flows up and down the streets of Europe, left, right, and center, and the UK. Venom, hate, the caliphate, all that garbage. It's happening. Whether you admit it or not, it's your problem. But it's happening. Check it out. Although America delivered a huge blow to Iran, the terrorist state, was it a week ago, with the bombing of their nuclear sites, it's not going to stop the Muslims from taking over the world. It's not going to stop. There's a war going on, and unfortunately for the infidels, which is you and me, unless you're Muslim, unfortunately for the infidels, this is not a war that we can win, and the reason for that is because we're not ready to or willing to pay the price. They are. They are willing to die for their cause. We're not. So the fight is right there. You know, when you put two people in the ring, one of them is willing to die and one of them is not. And that's what's happening. So if you know someone who's been deported, do your best to reach out. Do your best to love on their families. Do what you can to pour out love on these people. It's just America's promise is freedom. And that promise has been broken, as far as I'm concerned. Like the Haitians, 500,000 Haitians are now being told to go home. They're being given until, mid-November to leave? Keep the comments coming in, guys. I can't interact with the comments, but by all means, go crazy. I'm not gonna moderate, because I don't care. It's called freedom of speech. I used to be quite the moderator and delete comments and block people, but do unto others as you wish others to do unto you. It's biblical. I did take it out of context a little bit. So yeah, these mass deportations are just devastating to families, friendships, even companies across America who have been building this nation using undocumented workers. And now what are they supposed to do? This is going to impact the ripple effect of these deportations and the ICE raids is beyond any human measure. with the housing shortage in America that's taking place right now, these deportations, you would think, well, there's going to be less people in the country. There are going to be less workers. Some of the numbers that I looked at recently, we're talking about 8% of American population is on a list to be deported. 8%. How is the American economy supposed to survive? You know, you factor in tariffs, deportations, instability. Yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. And then the legal system. Don't get me started on that. If you haven't heard, my ex-wife's attorney, Matthew McHugh, lost his practice in 2003. He charged my ex-wife over $40,000 to represent her in our divorce. And at the end of the day, she didn't even get alimony. She didn't get anything. The kids got stuff. Yeah, I'm paying child support. But the wife, she got nothing. And not only that, but she's living in my house right now, and she got to go. She got to go. So she's being deported. Which is a good thing, she's a psychopath. But yeah, the legal system here, I've been trying to sell my house for 3.5 years. 3.5 years. It's in the courts. It's in the court system. She's not going to let me sell my house, so her and her attorneys are pushing back, ignoring, deceiving, delaying, doing everything they can to keep her ass in my house and keep over what? Easily $100,000 out of my pocket. That stings a little. I'll be honest with you. Oh, well, I ain't gonna lie. I could use that money. I might have been able to keep my storage. But no, sadly, the CUNT is still in my HOUSC. And there's nothing I can do about it other than just go through the court and the legal system. Yeah. Which is about as corrupt as the mafia, as far as I'm concerned. But listen, if you know someone who's been deported, if you know someone who's undocumented, give them your support. The majority of them are hardworking people. They work a lot harder than you and me. Unless you are a hard worker, then you know who you are. The roofers, people who do flooring, the landscapers, the painters, people who work in restaurants. The list is endless. People who work in hospitality, left, right, and center. Every hotel across America has got people cleaning rooms that are, but you want that job? All right? You want that job? You want to go clean hotel rooms? You want to go cut the grass along the highways in America? You want to paint? You want to work on a roof? You want to work in a restaurant? You want to go through that? How many of you wouldn't even last one shift working in a restaurant on a hot line being a line cook? I'd love to see a bunch of you guys try that. Or those bureaucrats, those cock-sucking bureaucrats who just decided that Haiti all of a sudden is a safe haven for 500,000 Americans to go back to their country. No. You can't just. How do you invite someone to your house and support them and give them hope, and then one day, out of the blue, you decide that a house that they fled, a house where they are tortured, where they are killed, that it's deemed safe. You deem it safe without even going there, without ever being there, without ever setting foot in Haiti. You decide, you make that decision sitting at your desk in Washington that Haiti is now safe. And it's okay for 500,000 people to go back to Haiti. I would love to see these asshole bureaucrats put on a plane with their families, their kids, and fly them to Haiti and see how well they do out there. They wouldn't last a day. They would not last a day. Within a day, they're on their knees crying the embassy, begging to come home. So 500,000 Haitians have been warned, have been told, go back to your country. What do you think is going to happen? They're not going to go back. Are you kidding me? They're not going back. Would you? No. So they're going to be rounded up. And they're going to be tied up like dogs. And they're going to be caged up. And they're going to be sent back to Haiti. Yeah. That's America for you. 8% of the American workforce is undocumented. When's the last time you went out to a field and picked strawberries for 8 hours? Or watermelons? Ever seen these guys toss watermelons into the back of the truck? Ever seen that happen? Have you ever witnessed a bunch of undocumented workers out in the field picking watermelons? I've seen it. And it's like a dance. The way they work together, get the job done, and then go home at the end of the day, crack open a cerveza, a bit Modeno, or I don't know, or Corona. Man, oh man, I haven't had beer. That's the problem being sober. Is I gotta tell you, I like a cold beer. I love a cold beer. Oh my God, do I love a nice cold beer. My beer of choice is Heineken. I like Stella Artois, very nice. I don't like American beers like Budweiser and all that. I haven't had Bud or Miller beers or Michelob or anything like that. And I don't know. It's got to be years. I can't remember ever. But when I was drinking beer, my favorite was Heineken. That's my beer. But not anymore. Being sober is interesting. I have a lot more energy to do stuff. Yeah, it's nice to have a beer buzz and just chill. So, if you're having a beer right now, cheers to you, my friend. I wish I could, but I can't. Yeah. So, yeah, these people work super hard in the worst possible conditions, and they don't complain. You know, they're not complainers. They work hard. They go home to their families and their providers, and that's what they asked for when they came to the U.S. A chance to work, a chance to provide and contribute. And I respect that. Too many Americans are sitting on their fat butts and not wanting to work and not wanting to contribute. And I find that to be shameful. And I'm in the same boat. I want to work. I want to contribute. But there are hurdles, unfortunately, that I have to face. And so I came up with the Lemon Challenge. If you haven't subscribed already, by all means, subscribe, because tonight or tomorrow night, I don't know when, I'm going to be going live, hopefully from, I'm not sure where, maybe Miami, maybe Fort Lauderdale, we'll see, maybe somewhere in between, maybe Boca. And you're going to want to see this, because I came up with a really stupid idea, and Banana's helping me make it happen. And I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm trying something different. That's all I got to say about that. So subscribe so that you know later when I'm going live. And yeah, that's a Ferrari behind me over there. See that? Ooh, it's a nice one. Nice Ferrari. But I find that to be shameful that there's a Ferrari behind me and it's not being driven. How stupid is that? So I see a bunch of people in the comments. I can't read your comments because I don't have my glasses. And I don't have my glasses with me, so I don't know. Just want to say hi to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Today's topic is ICE raids and mass unfortunate disasters, horrific deportations. I can't believe it's happening on such a large scale. And both men and women are being deported. Families are being broken apart. It's just, you would think that these people who are the backbone of America, who are the ones who build, who fix, who pick, who paint, who install, all these people who are working so hard to make this country what it is, are being deported. They're being thrown out. I'm thinking wage garnishing instead. I'm thinking perhaps some type of fines. If they can find them at work, then why can't we just find them at work? If they can find them at work, why can't we find them at work? Think about this for a minute. Think about the amount of money that would be generated by this 8% workforce that's now, being hunted down. 8% workforce. Think of the amount of money that could be generated from finding, not finding, but finding these undocumented workers. It's a different approach. It doesn't involve a gun or a machine gun. It doesn't involve handcuffs or prisons. Think about the money that would be saved in resources by, instead of rounding these people up, tying them up and locking them up and shipping them out, if we just manage them. If we manage these people intelligently, instead of treating them like criminals and animals. Why not? Is it that complicated, really? I don't think that would be more complicated. Quite the opposite. It would be a lot easier. Where's Doge on that one? Where are you, Elon? Why couldn't you come up with a plan to help these bastards? And by the way, a lot of them worked for you, either directly or indirectly, Elon. I got to tell you, Muskie, I think, I'm going to throw a number out. Between all the companies that you own, between SpaceX and Tesla and God knows what else, let me ask you, Elon, how many undocumented workers do you support? How many people work on these rockets? How many welders are undocumented that are working on that stainless steel Starship that just blew up a few weeks ago? You got to make another one now because that fire doesn't go so well, right? Static fire. Remember that? Boom! That's what happened. It went pop, pop, pop. How many people cut the grass at your facilities, Elon? How many people paint buildings? What about the restaurants at your locations? How many undocumented workers helped you, Elon, build your empire? How many? And while you were in office, or you were a helper to the orifice, what did you do to help these folks? How efficient, Department of Efficiency, my ass, how efficient were your attempts at helping the undocumented? And not even helping, but leveraging the undocumented. 8% of the American workforce are undocumented. That's a lot of money in fines. Or it's a lot of money spent in finding them and then tying them up, locking them up, and shipping them out. That's what I got to say about that. It would be a lot more efficient to manage these folks than to cage them. Think about, all the ICE officers that are actually risking their lives out there. Their lives, man. I mean, have you seen the videos of what happens to these ICE officers that show up? Their lives are in danger. Why put people at risk? It's not efficient. It's not smart. Manage these people. I'm not saying to reward them in any way. What I'm saying is they're working. They're working. They're building America. They're making America great again. So why treat them like animals and criminals? You know, there are undocumented criminals here. Yeah, those are not ones I'm talking about. Those assholes need to go, obviously. But I'm talking about rounding up a dad, a father, a mother, going to a restaurant, arresting 8 people. There's 10 people in the kitchen. You know how many people left are the manager and a waitress or something? You know, I mean, come on. These raids are going to cripple this nation. And the people being deported are the people who are working. The undocumented criminals are not being deported. They can't find them because they're not working. They're thieves. They're drug pushers. They're on the street or they're in their homes playing Xbox. But the people who are working, those who are working, those who are contributing, they deserve better than to just be round up, tied up, locked up, and shipped out. That's not right. It's just not right. So yeah, if you're a Haitian, if you know a Haitian, yeah, stuff's about to go down for the Haitians in America. You've got till August to go home. You've got a month. 1 month. What are you supposed to do? We gave you a taste of the dream, and now there's a new sheriff in town, and he wants you to go home.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me whatsoever. It just doesn't. Instead of finding them, I would find them. They get paid. There's money being exchanged. There's no reason to lock these people up. There's no reason to destroy these families. There is no reason, no good, valid reason to cripple America. We're already facing a housing market. A housing crisis. And this isn't going to help. It's just not going to help. That's all I gotta say about that. I wanted to go live and share my 2 cents today. I found out earlier about the situation with the Haitians and how 500,000 people from Haiti are now being told that their country is safe. Really? And that they can go home. And if they don't, then they will get locked up and they will get shipped out without a care in the world. And this is what this administration is doing. And I don't know why. It would be something different. It would be different if somehow someone in the White House, even under the authority of the president, would come up with a plan, an efficient plan, a sensible plan, an intelligent plan to leverage these workers, not eliminate them. You know? Think of a plan, come up with a plan that benefits everyone. It's not that complicated. Then again, I'm a negotiator, so I always see both sides of the coin. Not always. But often I'm able to see both sides of the coin, able to negotiate, to mediate, and to work out a deal that benefits all parties involved as best I can. But this is not what's happening. What's happening in America right now is mass deportation, and it's un-American. It's un-American. The American way has lost its way, and kicking out undocumented workers is not the way to go. It's not right. It's not the right thing to do. But leveraging them. They are working. You want to stay at this job. You're earning X amount. You're already being exploited, but you can deal with it. Then here's what's going to happen. You're going to have to take a pay cut starting tomorrow. Instead of making, and by the way, these undocumented, a lot of them make a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Some of them make a lot of money. Not every one of them works in a field picking strawberries. Some of these guys are gifted, and I mean gifted. You know, carpenters, you know, roofers. I don't know about you guys. You ever tried to work on a roof? I tried to do some flooring back at my house. And I tried. My best friend and I, we got on our knees and we started cutting some, you know, what was it, laminate? What was it called? I forget. But we started cutting and we started measuring, and, you know, we did the work, and we did one room, one bedroom, and one bathroom. Then we did the bathroom. No, we didn't do the bathroom. There was no wood floor in the bathroom. We did one bedroom together. And then we quit. Because we couldn't do it. You know? And he and I, pretty smart guys, we figured it out. We did one room. It was nice. But I had to sub that out to an undocumented worker whom I paid cash. Did I break the law? I don't know. One could argue. But I can't do flooring. I can't do roofing. You're not going to catch me dead on a roof, because I will die on a roof. In Florida right now, if I get up on a roof, I will die. I will die. So I can't do roofing. I tried doing some drywall work. I'm not very good at it, to be honest. I tried to do plumbing. Ugh. Don't get me started on plumbing. Oh my God. Don't get me started on plumbing. I hate plumbing. So, you know, and I'm a pretty handy guy. I mean, I built solar generators with my bare hands, for the love of God. I built things. I'm able to, you know, operate heavy machinery. But, you know, these undocumented workers are really good at what they do. They are. And they should be praised for that. That we don't have to do those jobs. I tried cutting grass commercially. That was a bad idea. That almost ended my life. And I'm not joking. I almost died. I was in such bad shape that I thought I was going to die. So, am I grateful for undocumented workers in America? Hell yes, I am. Yes, I am. Do I believe that they should be rounded up, tied up, caged up, and shipped out? No, I do not. I stand firmly against that. Will that cost me my green card? You know what? They can have it. They can take this little card that they gave me and they can shove it up their ass. That's what they can do with their little card. That's how I feel. If I could snap my fingers, bam, and vanish out of this place and end up in Germany, in Bamberg. Oh, I miss Bamberg. If I could snap my fingers, end up in Canada. I'd even go back to Canada before I'd stay here. This place has become a cesspool of filth, and it's all trickling down from the clown in the White House. That unbelievable criminal. America put a criminal in the White House. And now he's coming after you, coming after me. He's coming after undocumented workers. Hey, it's okay to go after criminals. Yeah. You know, listen. You know who you are. You break the law. You're undocumented, you break the law. Get the hell out of here. But if you're here and working, you're contributing, you're building this nation, there's a better way than locking you up. Right? There's a smarter way. There's a more cost-effective way to do that, to do something smart. So, I see there's a lot of comments going on. I can't read the comments, and I'm not going to moderate them because I believe in free speech. I've been given that opportunity more than once. As a matter of fact, I'm doing that right now, exercising my First Amendment right, free speech. But I also understand that freedom isn't free, and it's a question of time before my rights are swept under a rug and I'm punching a ticket, a one-way ticket out of here. It's okay in America to hate on Jews. It's even okay in America to speak out. But yeah, I don't even know what to say about what this country has become. A cesspool of filth and hate and venom. And $8 dozen eggs. I went to buy orange juice yesterday. I can't believe in Florida that orange juice is literally, I believe, $6 or $7 for a half gallon of juice. Absolutely mind-blowing. The price of food is just going through the roof. Housing crisis is omnipresent, it seems, and unavoidable. And with these ICE raids and mass deportation, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And I'm not a big fan of Obama. But I gotta tell you, there's something to say about socialism. When done right. Is it possible to do that right? Is it possible to be a socialist and to do it right? I don't know. Banana is from Europe, and she told me some stories about growing up, how her and her family didn't have access to meat. That the only meat that they could afford were chicken feet. Chicken feet that they had to prepare and clean and trim and do a lot of stuff. And that's the only meat they had growing up in a communist environment, not socialist. But yeah, I can't even begin to imagine what's going to happen to this nation moving forward. That we are treating our brothers and sisters from South America as if they were criminals. And I'm talking about these hard-working, undocumented, from Venezuela, from Colombia, from Mexico, Dominican Republic, Brazil. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Brazil. Don't know why. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so I'm grateful to God that in the past few years of my life, I was blessed to work with many undocumented and notably Latinos and Latinas. And I will be the first one to tell you that the Latinos they're hardworking, pleasant. The Latinas. Latinas are very passionate creatures, and I did not know what it was like to date a Latin woman until I moved to South Florida. And of course, you know, my marriage ended 4 years ago. So I've been dating, and I had a chance to date Latinas. And I gotta tell you, I love the passion. I love the culture. I love Latin women. Let's just leave it at that. Latinos are hot. They're amazing. They really are. And I can compare because I have dated. I was married to an American woman. And the only word that I can really come up with is, you know, compared to a Latin woman, I mean, American women are literally flat out frigid. Just cold. Cold. But Latina women are incredibly passionate and caring. It's amazing. I do like to compare Latinas perhaps to French Canadian women. There's something for you there. I am French Canadian, so I would know. I've dated in my life French Canadian women, American women, Latinas, Europeans. That's pretty much it. So I have really a foursome of female companions that I've had, and I can compare the cultures. Europeans are cold, really cold. You know, Germans, Polish, Norwegians, yeah, it's still cold. Swedish, Louise from Swedish, she was Sweden, you know. And then, yeah, so European women are very cold. Canadian women, very warm, very passionate. American women, they're frigid, they've got nothing going on. You know, yeah, they don't know what's going on. And that's why the divorce rate is so high in America, because American women are not able to please their men. Why? Because they're selfish and they're stupid. Uneducated, selfish, stupid American women. And then the Latinas, you know. Oh yeah, I did Latinas, Europeans, Canadians, Americans. Yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much it. Oh, Korean. Yeah, Asians. Wow. Asians are amazing. Oh, there was also someone from Thailand that I dated. She was very nice. Very passionate, very caring, amazing cook. So yeah, I'm able to compare from one nation, one culture to the next, and Latinas are at the top of my list because of their persona, their character, their swagger. I don't know how to describe it other than love Latinas. And yeah, so that's my 2 cents about women from around the world. And so yeah, 500,000, 500,000 Haitians were told earlier today that they need to go. It's time to go home, and they've been given until August to leave, or they will be deported. They will be rounded up, tied up, caged up, and shipped out. And I find that to be wrong. A lot of them are hard-working, undocumented Americans, but nevertheless, they're here, they're working. And that's how I would deal with it. I would not treat them like criminals. Rather, I would be grateful for their work, their contribution to this great nation. I would impose a fine of some sort, but I would keep them here working, building this nation, cutting the grass, picking the produce from these fields, working on these roofs, painting these houses, working on these commercial buildings, feeding us. You realize that these people are feeding us, right? These undocumented workers are feeding you and me and everybody for minimum wage. I don't know who's singing, but I wish he didn't. Oh. Is there really a dude singing over there? Oh my. He's not bad, but or never. Oh my God, that's it's an Elvis song. My mom used to listen to that when I was a kid. It's now or never. Wow. Yeah, I think there's a dude. There's a dude over there with a guitar or something. Yeah, this is live. This is live. Somebody is singing. Yeah, I'm not even capable of joking. There's a dude singing over there. That's America for you. Some guy singing It's Now or Never by Elvis Presley. Live on YouTube. Where else is that going to happen? Unbelievable. So I see a lot of flags down there. What flag is that? The guy is basically saying he wants slavery. No, I'm not. I'm saying that undocumented aliens or undocumented workers don't pay taxes and that they should. That's all I'm saying. A bunch of these people are undocumented for a reason, right? So what you do is you document these people and then you have them pay taxes and or even a fine, you know, if they choose to, as long as they continue to work undocumented, you pay a fine. It's not that complicated. Would you rather pay a fine and keep working or be tied up, handcuffed, chain ganged to a bunch of other undocumented, loaded up in a bus, taken to a prison, and then after X amount of time in there, you guys don't know what happens in these jails and prisons. I don't either. But imagine what happens in these prisons and jails. And then they're being shipped out to God knows where. They're not being sent back to Colombia or Venezuela or Dominican Republic or Mexico. They're not being sent back to their own nations. They're being shipped to God knows where. They're building camps now here in America. Camps. Like incredibly large holding facilities for these people. And I said it, people. They're people who are going to be treated like animals because they tried to make it in America, because they worked a job, because they contributed, because they did work that you and I won't do, or you and I can't do. They're built strong, these guys. I've seen them in action. I've seen them work. They work hard. They earn their keep. At the end of the day, I believe they deserve a break. I'm not talking about criminals, guys. I'm not talking about rapists. I'm not talking about murderers. I'm not talking about gang members. I'm not talking about drug dealers. I'm talking about hard-working, undocumented people. And if you're Haitian, goodbye. Thanks for coming. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, because you're no longer wanted here. No rhyme, no reason. Just nonsense. Trickling down from a criminal. Criminal. Hey, what can you do? What can you do about this guy I like to call Mr. Magoo? I'm going to be going live again in a little bit. Be sure to subscribe. That way you're notified when I go live. The next live is going to be from either downtown Miami or downtown Fort Lauderdale. It's going to be a little bit different. Be a bit uplifting. I'm going to give you a clue. The Lemon Challenge, brought to you by The Dandy Show. What is The Dandy Show, you ask? That's a really good question. More on that later. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you for all the comments, positive, negative, free speech on this channel, always. I don't moderate. I don't have time or the energy. So thank you for tuning in. If you know an undocumented American, love on him or her. Try and offer support, because one day soon you may get a collect call from jail asking for help. I really hope it doesn't get to that. If you are undocumented and you are in America and you are a hardworking American with or without papers, I salute you. I thank you for your work, for your dedication to making this country great again, truly, by the works of your hands. By the works of your hand, you feed us. You keep us safe at night under a roof that doesn't leak. You hang the door in the front of the house. You mow the lawn. You clean the streets. You pave the streets. You wash the cars that we drive. You're everywhere. And in my book, living the life that you live, living in fear now, is unnecessary. It's not American. MLK once said, the time is always right to do what is right. Martin Luther King, the time is always right to do what is right. And what's going on right now in America with these ICE raids and mass deportation, it's not right. There's a better way. I know there is. But I'm not a politician, and sadly, I have no way to contribute other than share my opinion, which is going to get me in boiling water, and probably will end up being my ticket out of here. One-way ticket. Because I voice my opinion honestly, truthfully. So yeah, be sure to subscribe. I'll be back, hour back, a little bit later, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for tuning in. God bless you.